Guys, in this video, we are going to see about what are the storage classes that are available in C. So nowadays, we are learning about so many things of declaring a variable, declaring a function, declaring a various other types of data types, and using a function. So how they are accessing? So the simple answer is they are going to use the memory that are available in your computer. So the memory that can be available in your computer, how the compiler understands that it is going to be of data type integer character, and we have to replace the value in a specific manner. So the compiler has to understand that whenever you're going to print f of my name is Cody. So whenever I'm not going to use it as Cody. I'm going to use it as like yeah, variable name. So the compiler have to understand that it is going to be a variable name, and I have to replace it with a corresponding value. So the how the compiler understand is using storage class. The storage class is an important one. Whenever you are using a large scale programming for a larger purpose. So the storage class in C, so it is going to be a four different data types, and one is auto, register, static, extend. So here the auto is nothing, just it is a normally declaration, like so whenever you are going to normally declare your variable of, so for example, let us consider that I am going to uh, use a variable known as age. So it is going to be of type officially int. So now whenever you are going to use a program like int age, so there is no another external data that has to be specified for your uh, program. So it is going to be as normally declared as auto. So for generally you can see that whenever you are not specifying any type of storage class in your program initialization, it will be normally stored is as default. So what it is default, what it is auto. So the auto is a local to the function. The scope means the lifetime of a function. The scope means, so whenever you are going to access a variable over a function, it can be only accessed within that function only. So this is the one kind of such kind of attribute. Whenever you are going to normally declare integer age, so it can be accessed only within that function. You can access that variable over the another function whenever you are using. So this is known as local to that function. So scope is nothing but the lifetime of your variable. So the lifetime is specific runtime. So for example, whenever you are going to compile a program, the program will execute by the main function. So the main function is the lifetime. So whenever you are using a variable in a specific function, whenever the program executes that function, that variable that are used inside that function uh, will be working while the function will be executing. Otherwise, it will be stopped working. So the storage, so it will be depends on the system that you are using. Whenever you are going to use a 32-bit, it allocates different types of location, and it whenever you are going to use a 64-bit operating system, it is based on it, it will be allocating its usage. Whenever you are going to, for a simplicity and for a small term of usage, you can use these kind of storage classes. Let's see an example of how the auto storage class in our program is executing. So now what I'm going to create is, I'm going to create a program known as auto. So now what I have to go do is, I'm just going to create a function known as stdio.fetch. I'm going to just import the header file, and I'm going to create a main function into main of. Then what I have to do is, I'm just going to declare a variable known as int space a is equal to 10 semicolon. Now what I'm going to declare is, I'm just going to display the value of value from main percentage d slash n. I'm just going to display value of a. So now let's execute it. What we are getting. So dot slash o. Here you can see we have the value from main is a. So now I'm going to alter my program such that I'm going to add another function duplicate. So I just make a function declaration. Now I'm going to make a function called duplicate. So now I'm going to function definition. So I'm just creating a function definition with the name of void duplicator. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to print a value from duplicate percentage d slash n comma a. So here you can see I have only one time declared the value of int a is equals to 10, and then I am just going to use the value inside the main function where we have declared the a value, and we are trying to access the value of a outside the main function. So let's see how we are getting the output. So here you can see in main function duplicate, there will be a is undeclared. So as I already said, that whenever you are using a variable as a auto, that variable will only be accessed within those functions. So int main of is a one function. So let's see what I'm doing is I'm just going to use the function in space a is equals to 100. So now let's compile and what we are getting. So we are compiling it successfully and we are running here. Value from main is 10 and value from duplicate is 100. So using a same variable, initializing it on both different function, we are not getting any output. Now you have an key idea about how the auto is working. So where is the place that we can use auto? As I already said, you are going to create a small program or a prototype program for your large scale programming. You can use this kind of auto. Normally, this is one of the simplest way because we don't have to declare any kind of other storage classes in C. So it is normally declared as auto. So the next one is register. So the register concept is simple. So whenever our operating system accessing any files, it will be stored in the cache memory. The cache memory is one of the fastest memory in the memory segment. So the second fastest memory is random access memory, RAM. It is one of the fastest accessing memory, and then our data will be stored in the read-only memory, which is the secondary memory. uh, Based on this hierarchy, the cache memory will be considered as a faster one. Whenever we are going to access a data, the CPU should not tell that get the data from the secondary memory, which will take a large amount of time. In such cases, we should not wait for a large amount of time. We need to access the file subsequently so that we can access the data in a faster manner. So what the C program we can do to access the files that we can uh, faster responses, we can store each and every variable in a register. So the registers are one of the smallest memory that are available for C programming in the in the CPU. So there will be available in a small amount. We have to use it efficiently. These registers can access the data efficiently whenever the compiler requires a variable value to be put for that corresponding variable. So whenever you are using a variable for as a register storage class, it will be accessed fastly when compared it is another data type. So for example, you have using a variable known as your age or name as a auto variable, auto storage class, and you are using a register storage classes some other ages or name. So whenever you are trying to access the storage class of type register, it will be somewhat faster when comparing to the access time of auto. In the access time, what I mean is the access time is the time required to whenever the compiler requires a data that has to be put for the corresponding value of whenever we are trying to percentage d, the compiler will look for the value for that corresponding data. So whenever you use a variable as a register, it will be somewhat fast accessed by the compiler compared to other storage classes in C. Let's see an example of how the register classes are working in the C program. So now what I'm going to do is I am just going to create another program that is known as registers dot C. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just including the stdio.h. So now I'm going to create a function known as int main of int space echo. Now what we have to do is we have just register int space a is equals to 100. Here you can see whenever you are going to create a method or a variable, we can see that it is going to be a data type with a green color. So we can here you can also see that register int space a is equals to 100. So now I'm going to printf of value from main. So it is going to be percentage of type integer, and then we are going to print the value of a. So let's see, we are getting the yeah, it's dot slash dot slash shade of out. Here, here you can see the value from minus 100. We can see that there will be, now you can ask, there will be no difference, right? So whenever you are going to declare this as auto, it will be also accessing with any somewhat differences. So this will be not efficiently describable or showable in your normal programming. So whenever you are going for a large scale programming in C, we need to access data in efficient manner. We should not tell the customers or the users to wait for a longer period of time. That will make or irritate the user. So we have to access the data in a faster manner. In such cases, while going for a large amount of codes in your programming, these registers will help you to access the data from the user request and to send the data for the user's display in a fast and efficient manner. But you have to consider that there will be a large, not large amount of registers that are available in every program, in every system. The registers will be counting in a low amount of registers only available in your system. So we have to use it in a efficient manner. You can also whenever you are like whenever you want to access the register, you can access it. So the next type is static. The static is one of the most important concept because whenever you need to keep a data over a long period of time throughout your entire program's execution, it can be executed. Here as I have mentioned that static is a global to the function. So here I have just noted it as local. So which means that it can be only accessed within a specific function. But whenever you have declared a function as a static in a global, you can access these variables in a continuous manner. So whenever you change any values for that variable, for like I have declared the variable age as 18. So whenever I change it to 19, it will be reflected anywhere in your program. For example, you can say I am going to use a variable known as age in my main function, right? So if I am using the age in my main function, it is I am going to access it outside the function, another function. So it will be of age 18. it will be not reflected in the another function. Whenever I change the value to a 20 or 22, the values that I have changed for that age can be visible only in the main function. But if I want to access that edited age as 20 in any other function, then I have to use the variable as static. This kind of keywords will help you to keep your data keep your value in your variable for a entire program's execution. So let's see an example of how we can use the static method. So now what I'm going to create is, I'm just create another method known as another program known as static dot c. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to include the header file. I'm going to call a main function. So now what I am going to do is static int space a is 100 semicolon print value from duplicate percentage d slash m comma a. Let's execute it. So most of us know that what will be the output. Let's see what we are getting. So yeah, so here you can see there will be no differences between the no differences in the output. So let's add another function known as, what I'm going to do is I just add another known as void duplicate of. What I am going to do is I'm just going to void duplicate of printf of value from, sorry, a value is value from main, value from duplicate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to print value of a. So let's compare it what we are getting. So sorry. So I'm sorry. I haven't declared it as semicolon. So here you can see in the main function duplicate, we have not declared any variable, which means that the a is not visible for the function. So now what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take the value of a as 100. What I'm going to do is stack in a. So let's execute it. So it is executing successfully. So here you can see sorry, we haven't called the duplicate function in the main class. So call the duplicate function. So here you can see the value from the main 100. The value from the duplicate 100. It is carrying out the value throughout the entire program. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to again call the function before I'm going to execute it. So here you can see it is compiled successfully, and here you can see value from duplicate is 0, which means that we haven't affected any kind of values to, we haven't affected the variable known as a. So here you can see the value of duplicate is 8. Here which means that we have affected the value of a, which is carried out through the entire program. In any places the value will be changed, that can be reflected in any function, because which means that the initialized value is 0, which is from the, we have printing of 0 from the duplicate function. Another in main function we are affecting and displaying it is 100. From again we are going to what we can declare in the duplicate function. It is also reflecting it as the value will be changed to 100. Now you get a clarity about how the static function is working in C programming. Let's move on to the another storage known as extend. The extend keyword is considered to be one of the most important concept because so whenever you are going to store a data, the data you are given for the execution of your program. For example, you are going to calculate the area of two different shapes. So for example, I'm going to find a area of rectangle. The formula for area of rectangle is L into B, which requires two data. So one is the length and the another one is the breadth. The result is a data type that can be of double or a integer. That doesn't mean. So we need two data types. So the A into B, the data that are available for the LNB is only inside the program. If we want to access a variable from one function to another function, which means that you are going to get an output that is going to be in one file. We are accessing it from another file and we are going to do operation on that. So this is one of the important storage class we have to understand, because this is one of the basics of so many file handling concepts. So this is not much used, but we have to understand what is the basic concept. So now let's see how we can use it. So, but I have already created a function known as ex1.c. So here what I am just using is I am just going to include my header file, and what I have done is I am just using it extend int a. So in the function I am just going to print the value of a. I am just not any edited any value for the a in the main function. How executing. So as I already said, we can access the data from the another function. So let's see what we have get in the another one is. So here you can see I'm just what I have done is I'm just declared a variable known as std order and just interface a is equals to 10. So what we are executing is gcc ex1.c space ex2.c space hyphen o object file with the or else we can just execute it like this. So here you can see the object is completed success. So here you can see the value from x1. The value from x1 states that it is the value from x1 is 10. What we have done in this space extend a, it is initialized as some other value. But in the next function, the next program exe2, we have declared the variable as int space a is equals to 10, which affects the value of external variable from one function to the another function, which results in the execution of the program as value of exe1 is equals to 10. So now we get a clarity about how the storage classes in C are working. So let's summarize what we have learned. So the storage class is nothing but the type of the variables that we have stored in our compiler's understanding is known as storage class. So there are four different types: auto, register, static, and the extend. So the auto is the default scope that will be used for any data type declaration. It will, if you have not any mentioned the storage class, it will be automatically converted into auto. The register. Register is one of the fast accessing data type. Register is one of the fast accessing storage class in C. It can be used in found in small numbers, so we have to use it efficiently, and it is one of the
Having any
fastest accessing
doubts regarding
storage
this
class.
or any other
Static. It is
videos,
used to keep your
feel free to
data
share with us.
entirely what it
This
is
makes us
having
to
throughout the entire execution
make
of
more
your
contents
program.
with a
Extend.
clarified manner.
The extend is the
Thank you.
keyword that can be used to keep the data from one program to another program. The what data that are stored in your program one to the another program. So yeah, having any doubts regarding this or any other videos, feel free to share with us. This makes us to more make more contents with a clarified manner. Thank you.